Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. We're here for a meditation a day. And today, our guest meditator is Dr. Jane Mountrose. She's got Buddy on her lap. And we are going to have a great experience learning and experiencing clearing of societal karma with joy and love. And I'm looking so forward to this time with you, Jane. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for, I love the opportunity. I always look at these as kind of opportunities to experiment with things that whatever it is that I'm kind of putting through my own little laboratory here. So this is what's really up for me this week. So I'm excited.
Excellent. Okay. I'll just get out of your way.
Okay. I know that when I think of karma, often it sounds very heavy, and the idea of societal karma sounds even heavier. But really, it is about releasing things that are preventing us from experiencing love and joy, which is, to me, the ultimate goal. And I wanted to just share a little bit about how I understand karma, because that is an area where there are different opinions, and some people really aren't quite sure how to look at it. So I wanted to tell you about a dream that I had, and this was years ago, probably. It might be 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. No, more than that, 25 years ago. It was a long time ago. And all of my life previous to that, I had a recurring dream where some kind of a monster would be chasing me. And it could be actually like a big ape, or I can remember one time, and this started when I was a very small child. I can even remember one time when I was probably 7 years old. A dark figure on a motorcycle was chasing me, and in each case I would find a place where I could hide, where theoretically there would be no way they could find me, but I would know they would find me. And so this went on into adulthood, and I had the dream this last time when I was walking down a street, actually walking a dog, and it was at nighttime, so it was dark. And I noticed suddenly that there was this dark figure chasing me or following me. I was walking. So I found a way to duck into a car and to duck down. And it was one of those things where intellectually, it didn't seem like there was any way that he could possibly find me, but I knew he would. And I was kind of lurking in there and looking out the window, and this dark figure appeared in the window. And I woke up, which is what usually happened. And so I was thinking about it afterwards, and I thought, well, it seems like the problem is that I don't confront the dark figure. I always wake up and avoid that part of it. So I had this way that I go back into dreams, and really it's just a matter of imagining you're back in the dream. And I was there, and he was outside the window. And rather than avoiding it, I asked him, well, what do you want? And he said, I am your karma, and I am the parts of yourself who have not accepted themselves. In other words, there are parts of us who are disconnected from our wholeness, the parts of us who have fear and anger and frustration. Not that sometimes those are appropriate. When they're appropriate, like being afraid if you're being chased by a real alligator or something might be appropriate. But when we have those kind of stuck emotions, those are parts of the self who have been disconnected from our wholeness, which is that creator who resides in us, that is powerful, that is, and also is joyful and loving life. So they prevent us from actually experiencing life fully. So anyhow, I after that, I thought, well, that's interesting, because I never felt right about that idea that karma was retribution, or that it was one does to this and then the other one does it back. And having done hypnotherapy and as a trainer in healing techniques, my experience over the years is people will tend to keep repeating the same thing over and over. In other words, if a person is prone to abusive relationships, they probably go back for many, many, who knows, hundreds, thousands of years potentially. I think that balancing karma is an option, and you could say forgiving yourself and others is a really wonderful thing. But the real purpose of karma, the way that I understand it and deal with it, is to clear the block, is to bring that part, in other words, that monster at the window was a part of me who I needed to embrace, to bring him back in. And I think for those of us who are light workers, spiritual healers, way showers, whatever we look at ourselves as, those of us who are people who are part of the change, you could say, who want to be part of creating a better world, we have the opportunity of clearing karma both for ourselves, which is valuable for the whole. And sometimes when we're clearing for humanity as a whole. So on a societal level, we're clearing patterns that don't just involve ourselves. And that is a very powerful thing to look at. So what I want to do is a process where we're going to go up and we use imagery a lot. I know that Ruth loves this image too, of going to a mountaintop. We often start in the mud. And for those who are open to it, if you want to start with some kind of fear or something that seems to repeat itself a lot in your life, anger, frustration, something, anxiety, confusion, a pattern like that, where you would like to be able to transmute it into love and joy, that's what we're going to do with Ascended Master Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. And the Violet Flame actually is known for transmuting karma, which is interesting. And for those who are not aware of Saint Germain, he's just a wonderful Ascended Master, and he's here for all of us. It's really just a matter of calling on him to support us in whatever we're wanting to do. He's known as a magician, kind of a character, an alchemist. So his specialty is transmuting, you could say, base metals into gold, or however you want to look at alchemy, that we're transmuting actually those heavy energies that bog us down into the love and joy that lift us up. And I think it is through that love, like being that love and being that light and joy, that we are helping to transform also society. So that's the basic idea of what I want to do. And again, it's not intended to be heavy. It's intended really to look at how light and loving and joyful we can be. Because another wonderful thing with this is that as you bring more of these pieces that have been disconnected from your wholeness, as you bring them back, there's more of you here. There's more of us that's here, that's connected to the Creator within us, which is in our heart center here, right on the chest. And then we feel, as we do that, life just gets better and better. And it is, I know, I'll just make this brief. My husband, Philip, and I, we met in a spiritual organization where the goal was to be present. And this was many years ago. We spent 10 years there, and I didn't feel any more present when I was at the end of those 10 years than I did at the beginning. And I realized actually when I started connecting with the truth in my heart and make that my foundation, which I think it really is for us, that this is our foundation for opening to our true potential, because that's where the Creator resides in us. When I started doing that and the healing work, the kind of thing we're going to do here, that's when I started to feel like there was more of me here. And it's a process. Some people actually, I think millions of people probably use the Violet Flame for transmuting energy. And I haven't used it exclusively, but it is a wonderful way to approach it. And it's a very simple thing to do that can be done as a spiritual practice on a regular basis with something. I think it helps to have something specific in mind to clear, and just keep going through things that you want to clear with it. So we're going to the mountaintop. Does that feel like a good explanation, Ruth? Okay. What do you think, Bud? He says yes. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to invite Saint Germain to join us. I'm going to also invite Archangel Metatron, who is very present in my life, and maybe some others. We'll have to just see where this goes and how it goes. Another part of it for me right now is that the archangels, the masters, the different enlightened beings who are out there are reaching to us and are available to support us and want to support us. And actually, they add to the amount of light that we can hold, you could say, because it is something, it's a process really of being able to hold more energetically, hold more light. Just connecting with them is such a blessing. And I'm really delighted to be able to do that too. So with that lengthy beginning, we're ready to start. And as I mentioned, starting with having something in mind is appropriate here. If you don't have anything, just enjoy the ride. I always start with just focusing on shifting your attention from the thoughts in your head to your breath, inviting light and love in with every inhale from the universe around you. As you inhale, taking just the most beautiful, nurturing breaths, just breaths that feel so good. And as you exhale, releasing any energy that you don't need now, anything that feels incoherent or heavy, just anything that is ready to be released as you exhale. Also asking any energy that is not your own to leave your space now, which it creates more space for your own energy. We pick up energy from other people and places. Just send it back where it came from other times. Lovingly send it back. And you can feel then that you can invite in more of that love and light. And then also asking any energy of your own that you've left in other times with other people and places that's ready to come back. Just invite that back into your space now. And you may notice by doing these things that you feel more present in the moment, like more of you is here. And this is just a simple practice to do on its own. Just bringing yourself more into your body, connecting with that love in your heart. And then focusing on something that is disturbing to you. And it might be something societal, like there are many things, the number of people who are hateful and mean and divisive in society, it can disturb us. And also we can transcend that. We can still be in a space of love and perceive it without getting engaged by it, because the darker energy wants to drag us back down. The mass consciousness, collective energy wants to drag us down. So we need to boost ourselves up and to clear whatever it is that is causing us to get connected with that energetically or emotionally. If you start, if thinking about the politics or something, which is a big thing for many people, if that makes you angry, well, it doesn't have to. You can observe it without becoming engaged in it. So just picking something that might be disturbing you sometimes as a focus. And we often, as I mentioned earlier, think of that like wallowing in the mud. We start out wallowing in the mud with so many people who are down there looking at themselves as victims of forces that are larger than themselves. So those fears, those anxieties, anger may look like a monster, If you are focused on one, you might focus on that now and imagine it if you can visualize. And if you can't, just imagine what the monster would look like. What does that monster look like? That monster that was outside my window in the dream. What would that monster that's looking at you, what would that one look like? So just imagining that and holding it in your awareness, because the images are powerful. Now I'd like to invite Archangel Metatron to join us. He's just a beautiful being of light who's also here at this time of the Great Awakening to support us in rising up into a place of love and joy. So breathing in lighter energy, inviting him to surround us with his energy, which in terms of color, I experience and many people experience as gold, or a luminous gold and white energy, just a beautiful spiritual energy. Just breathing in that love from him. The angels are all beings of divine love. And as you do that, imagining now that you can rise up, that you can start rising up to a lofty mountaintop, way up, a beautiful place with a panoramic 360-degree view of the world. Lofty place. And it's a place that's, could say, to a degree above all the fray, above the mud that people are in, where we can start to experience ourselves more as empowered creators, really, are co-creators with the higher forces that are inviting us to join them. So arriving on the mountaintop, we can imagine, however many of us are here live or at any time in the future, that we're here in a circle collectively. And looking around, noticing that expansive view that goes for miles and miles. And how beautiful the world is. Connecting with nature creates that sense of oneness in us. And breathing in that pure air, maybe feeling a little breeze. And here I'd also like to now invite in Saint Germain, as I mentioned, the magician, alchemist, and really he's a spiritual guide for us too. He's very present at this time for humanity. Just invite him to join us and surround us with that violet flame energy. So whatever that monster was, whatever that thing was that you're focusing on, or if nothing, just ask to release any heavy energy that might be within you that's ready to be released with the violet flame. I tend to see it more as sparkling violet light. And I think for each of us individually, we can imagine it in the way that feels most appropriate for us. You can imagine it like a sparkling amethyst with the beautiful, all those beautiful shades of violet, from a deep violet to a lilac to sparkling white light. And just surround yourself with the perfect light for you that can clear, that can transmute whatever you're ready to release. Just feeling it all around you. It's a flame that is not, it's not a hot flame, it's a nurturing flame. That sparkling light, you can invite it into your body, into the cells of your body. When I started doing this more frequently several years ago, I wasn't sure what I was going to experience. And I was surprised that as I allowed that energy around me and throughout my body, that I would start feeling love and joy. I was surprised at joy. I didn't really associate it somehow with that. But it is a very joyful freedom that we experience as we release these heavy energies. And the energies of society that may be weighing us down unnecessarily. They may not even be our own. And when we're clearing for society, we're serving humanity. So it's a gift to the world. This is something you can do anytime. Just inviting in only beings of light, of course. You can often invite Archangel Michael in to provide protection, and he also is such a way shower for us at this time. And doing this now, I sense so many angels around us supporting us. I think from the mountaintop, we can be more aware of them. We're closer. And as we open to more of that love and joy, releasing any heaviness that might be holding us down, we can sense them more easily. Beautiful angelic presences, master teachers, guides. And from here, you might want to take another look at, if you saw a monster to begin with, what happened to that monster? Because when we open more to the creators we are, those monsters often diminish or disappear. Because that is the illusion. The illusion is that we are under the control of forces that are larger than ourselves, when actually we're magnificent beings, each one of us, uniquely magnificent as we are, just as we are. I'd like to take one more step up for those who are adventurous. Another thing that has been really supportive for me recently is from the mountaintop, then to imagine breathing in even lighter energy. And again, with the support of all these beings of light, the archangels, Metatron, Saint Germain also, and thanking them for all of the support and healing. Just breathing in lighter energy. And now imagine rising up into the universe, essentially rising through the atmosphere, which to me represents metaphorically rising up above any influence at all of the mass consciousness of humanity. So we're just out freely in the stars, just completely free. Here, there is no expectation of us. It's a place where we can just be, and we can even look down on the earth kindly. And the being I invite often here to join me, who is a cosmic master, is Commander Ashtar. So we can ask Commander Ashtar to join us, and he often appears with starlight. So you can imagine surrounding yourself with that starlight, and there may be more sparkles there, just gently touching you, touching your body, touching your cells. I just feel that expansiveness of being a being of the cosmos. This is a place you can come just to experience that sense of being free. And of course, from here you may receive messages. There might be a message from Commander Ashtar for you, or Metatron, or Saint Germain, or some other being of light. Sometimes for me, other ones just show up. But Commander Ashtar is here with the starlight. feels like he has starlight for each and every one of us. And if you're feeling that sense of being completely free, just notice what it does to your body and to your cells. It's so enlivening, nothing to drag you down. It's also a great place to come to ask yourself questions about about things. When we're down in the mud, we're not very resourceful. When we're up in the cosmos, we are, or on the mountaintop. You can go to the mountaintop, and when you're connected with that love and light in your heart, that joy, you're connected with your own truth. Buddy loves it too, don't you, sweetie pie? Yes. So this is a place you can spend as much time as you want, as you can also on the mountaintop with the violet flame, or just with the view, that magnificent, expansive view, which is, as we're viewing that expansive scene, it's expanding our mind too. And for now, we're going to begin our journey back. And the thing about coming back is you don't have to come back to the stress. You can bring back that sense of freedom, and also that understanding of who you really are. Because it's not a myth that the creator resides in us. It is the truth. We are creators because the creator resides in every one of us. So we can just start imagining now, drifting gently down, back down, thanking Commander Ashtar and all the other beautiful beings of light who are supporting us now and always. Gently becoming more aware of yourself in your seat, wherever you are. The feet, feel them stably connected with the earth, sending energy, also love to Mother Gaia, who also then sends us love. And then returning more to your normal waking state. It's by intention, breathing in more active energy, your normal waking state energy. And when you're ready, opening your eyes.
Thank you, Jane. I really, really liked how you defined karma. Being a
Well,
part
it never made sense to me, that idea that you were kind of connected with someone just because if someone did something to you, then you have to stay around until you can somehow work it out. It doesn't make any sense, actually. And then that has always felt right to me, that it's really, some people I think say that you can use the term karma or trauma, that they both are the same thing. So it is the trauma that takes us down into the mud that prevents us from opening fully to who we are. And that's what karma is. Though this is my view of it, and I know it's different from some, but I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And then I also appreciated when you said that the angels add to the amount of light that we can hold.
Mm-hmm. Well, being around them, I think you can't help but be affected by it. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, I've just never put those words to it. I love that. Thank you.
And so it's a gift for us individually, and then we're a gift for the world, because that's what we're radiating from ourselves, is that love and light.
Yeah.
Just good all around.
Right. Well said. Hey, Jane, would you take a minute and let folks know if they want to know more about you and the teachings that you do, how do they learn more about what you and Philip are bringing to the world?
Well, we have a website, a big website. It's been around since the 90s, so there are a lot of different pages on it. But a place to start might be on, it's called gettingthrough.org, which is gettingthru.org. And then you'd want to usually go to / something. I'd recommend / spiritual. And on that page, you can also access, we have a free resource kit for light workers, spiritual healers, and way showers, and people like us. That has some wonderful things in it that might get someone started or just finding out more. And then just looking around the website, I think you can learn a lot. Also, we have on Enlightened World Network on Sundays, there's the Circle of Love and Light that is at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. And by the way, tomorrow is daylight savings time in the United States. So we're going to lose an hour. Just remember that if you join us, would love to have you join us. It's we do things like this, just connecting. Also, we have conversations, and it's pretty casual, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Actually, Philip is going to be there tomorrow because I'll be traveling. And we have a book called The Solution, which is about love. And that one, we wrote it, actually, it's completely free, and we want people to share it, especially share it with people who might not see this kind of thing, so they can understand how valuable love is. It just is valuable in so many ways, and how it actually is unifying on a world scale, et cetera, et cetera. And that one, I have a tiny URL for that one because the URL for it is pretty long. It's at tinyurl.com / 444-solution. And that's something, it's a PDF. You can download it, share it with people. We just want the message to get out and more people to understand that anger and resentment and division really isn't, that's not the way. And love is so life enhancing. It actually is known now scientifically to lengthen life, extend life, whereas stress and trauma and fear, all of those things that are stressful actually are destructive to our health and our longevity. So even for someone who is just interested in the basics, that's pretty good. And it's free.
And it's free. We like free.
Right.
Well, Jane, thank you so very much for being here today. I loved that you taught us a lesson and then took us into the meditation.
I felt I had to explain it a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
no,
yeah.
It was perfect.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And friends, here at Enlightened World Network, we offer several somethings every day of the year. So please just keep coming back. Join us either on Facebook or on YouTube. So take good care. God bless. We'll see you all soon.